Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. It's great to be here. Great to be talking with you all. Give me just 1 second here, and let me make sure we've got everything set up here the way that we need to have it. It is Wednesday evening, December 20th, and this is the 103rd episode of the show. We have there we go. This is kind of a weird situation. The name of the show is called A Call to Action. A Call to Action. Again, not a very enthralling thumbnail here, but I just put something together here. I've got a couple quick things that I want to bring to your attention. I need to remind the public at large a couple quick things. We're going to mention just a brief couple notes. I then have a very special celebration to announce. Of course, if most of you are connected to our social media, our group of friends, if you guys have watched Josh's channel, he live streamed the celebration earlier, so most of you know what it is, but we'll get to that in a minute. But I do want to let you know up front that this is going to be a shortened show. I have something I need to do in just a little bit, so I'm going to cut this one short tonight. Again, it's the holiday season, folks. It is what it is. So we will enjoy a short show this evening. I will let you guys know what's at hand and kind of put this out because I need to get this information out. I will offer my celebratory congratulations to some folks and make the announcement here as well. And then we will end the show early this evening and then be back here on time at 9 p.m. tomorrow for a full show. And I'm hoping that I will have at least one of the 3 records that I'm currently waiting for. I've did some calling around and I'm hoping to have shook something loose. So we will know. The Board of Works meeting went today. It was very quick. It was like over and done in like 8 minutes. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Ted did not offer up any amazing information or any answers to questions that I had. And that was it. That was that. The Dream with Dan, or actually the Dream with Dans, the three Dans, the mayor and the fire chief and the deputy fire chief, they're all named Dan. It went today at 11:30, and I did not get a chance to watch it because of some other commitments that I had going today and some other things that I had going on. So I'm going to watch that later this evening. Tomorrow, we will talk about the Board of Works. We will talk about the Dream with Dan, and we'll talk about a few other things. But I wanted to offer a major, major, major call to action. And the call to action stems from a newspaper article in the Star Press today. And it specifically, it comes from just a quote from the paper. It's something that I've talked about before, but it's definitely something that I want to bring to the public at large's attention, and then hopefully that something can happen from there. So first and foremost tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring this forward here. Let me screen share this for you. I want to read this to you, and I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. This was in the Star Press. It was posted just a little bit ago. Suck that down. The Muncie Taskforce meets. I wish it would say what it is. What Muncie Taskforce? The Muncie Violence Task Force meets, reviews work, plans action, laments juvenile justice. Okay? This is a weird title. I don't know why they didn't title this better, but it's the Star Press, so it is what it is. Work continues by the 17-member task force on Muncie violence, organized after the Industry neighborhood shooting in July that killed 1 and wounded 17. Crazy. They don't want to call it a mass shooting. Killed 1 and wounded 17, but it's not a mass shooting. Never mind those 17. Community members, police, government officials met Tuesday morning to report on efforts to aid in resolving issues leading to ongoing violence in the city of Muncie, Indiana, of course. Here's a picture of this group. Of course, we've got Dan Ridenour, the mayor, up at the podium. We've got the sheriff here. We've got the chief of police here. The fire chief is over here. The fire chief's here. A deputy chief is here. We've got an attorney right here. And then members of the community at large are back in here. So it says, Mayor Dan Ridenour presented findings of a survey. I hadn't seen the survey, knew nothing about the survey. It would have been nice if they would have put the survey out to the media. It would have been nice if they would have put that out. We would have known what the survey questions were, who got the survey. I would like to know a lot about this survey. How many people did they survey? What was the response on these questions? You know, it would be nice to know, is this public? Are these meetings public? I knew nothing about this meeting. I still know nothing about this. Ridenour, are you posting these meetings? If you're not, brother, I think that you're creating open door issues. There's no voting going on here. The council's not here. You still don't have a council member on this board, which is wild. It's just very, very, very strange. So we only hear about these meetings after the fact. Task force members primarily said the laws and ordinances needed to be better enforced. No kidding. And that young people need to know they will be held accountable for their actions. Okay. It goes on to say other factors such as poverty, lack of male role models, also contributed to violence among young people in Muncie, with some saying ready access to guns was also a factor. Much of the discussion, some said that I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that's what this is saying. Much of the discussion and work of the task force centers on youth, even though the shooting that brought attention to the community violence occurred among adults during a street party in the early morning of July 30th at Willard and Hackley Streets. Estimates of up to 1,000 people were in the street when the dispute between two men broke out and bullets began to fly. Joseph Bonner, 30, died from a bullet wound that night. John L. Vance Jr. was 36, was charged with 2 counts of aggravated battery, a level 3 felony carrying up to 16 years in prison, and unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon. Justin Elliott Bonner, brother of the victim, the late Joseph Bonner, was also charged with unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon. All of these charges stem from the outbreak of gunfire that wounded nearly a score of people in the streets that night. You will notice nobody has been charged with murder yet. No one is being charged with murder. Okay, so interesting. Ridenour noted possible solutions suggested in the survey included enforcement of laws and ordinances, education about guns and conflict resolutions, having more mentors for young people, and developing relations between neighborhoods and police. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Ted Baker, also known as the King of Fun, and just in from Fire Island, and also a member of the Board of Works, as the paper notes, said that his board has placed a moratorium on granting variances for city noise ordinance since the large party where the shooting, what does it say? From the Neighborhood Board of Works said his board has placed a moratorium on granting variances for the city noise ordinance since the large party where the shooting occurred. That doesn't make any sense. Since the large party where the shooting occurred. Had one? I don't know. That's kind of weird.
No. They have stopped. They put a moratorium on granting variances since the large party where the shooting occurred. Since that happened. Ever since.
Yeah, that's just very strange how that, that could be worded there better.
Yeah, I know.
That's just very, very, very strange. I don't know. That's strange. Come on, Star Press. He noted the city has no ability to handle parties that grow so large without proper planning. And it's my belief that Ted Baker shouldn't be talking on this. Like, shut up. Police Chief Nate Sloan said his department continues to work with neighborhoods and provides additional security when additional police presence is requested. The issue of mental health and its impact on violence was also discussed during the meeting. Deputy Police Chief Chris Deegan said the department is continuing to recruit for a social worker position within the department. Yay, rah. The position would engage in crisis intervention and make referrals for those struggling with mental health issues, substance use disorder, homelessness, traumatic events. Deegan also noted that among the 30 people hired by the police department since 2020, 5 were minorities, and 4 of those are still with the department. Whoa! All right. Caitlin Sheridan, a trauma program manager at IU Ball Memorial Health Hospital, said the hospital would assist the task force and provide information about the nature of violence being seen in the medical personnel by the medical personnel in Muncie. Ridenour also told the group that work on the planned crisis center, or as we call it here, the crisis in the center in crisis at the former Workman's Bar on West 8th Street, has resumed, thank God. The center will be owned by the city, operated by IU Health, which is supplying a staff of 14 social workers to keep the center staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you can't spend the night there. Work had temporarily slowed at the building after the discovery of termites earlier this year. However, while work might have temporarily stopped, the billing continued right on. We just kept paying and paying and paying and paying, no matter what work was being done there or not. All right. City Park Superintendent Carl, this was like a who's who of people just talking. The City Park Superintendent, Carl Malone, told other members of the task force that he will be going into Muncie Community Schools classrooms. They should not have an S there. Muncie Community School classrooms, Muncie Community Schools, possessive classrooms, reaching out to students. He noted the need to help children after a case in Indianapolis this week in which a gun fell out of the backpack of a first grader in school. Well, what's going on with parenting? Malone said the Parks Department will strive to help kids both at home and in school. Interesting. Stephen Hargrave of Real Black Excellence, a group working inside Southview Elementary, teaching children there, is also aiming to help students in their home whenever need is found. Hargrave said his crew is willing to provide help in the homes of the youngsters he teaches, including clean the houses of students if necessary. Ridenour said that so much of the problem is a lack of personal responsibility. I can agree with Ridenour on that. We've got to hold people, even our youth, accountable, he said. Task Force member and Delaware County prosecutor Eric Hoffman also told the group that juvenile justice in the Muncie community is not working because the juvenile judge has to approve any charge that the prosecutor's office makes against a juvenile. It's very frustrating. And I can tell you from my previous experience, that is new. That has not always been that way. I don't understand why that would need to be, but that is in place, and I can see how that would be frustrating. Specifically, when the judge in question is completely batshit crazy. All right? Just completely off the nut. All right? We'll talk about that in a moment. That's the call to action. The prevailing philosophy in this county is to be soft on juvenile crime. And the young people committing crime know it and takes advantage of it, he said. They are failing to learn that actions have consequences. The meeting adjourned as the discussion continued among some members afterward. Ridenour said he intends to call another task force meeting to continue the discussion early in the new year. And I'm going to be pushing the communications department, the press release department, and everybody else to give me an answer on when that damn meeting is so I can be there. And if they say that it's not open to the public or the press, then I'm going to fight that with Luke Britt, but that's a bridge we'll cross. The call to action is this, ladies and gentlemen. There is a frustrating problem with the juvenile court judge. Who is the juvenile court judge, you might ask? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the same judge that is the Circuit Court number 2 judge, Judge Kimberly Dowling, who needs to be replaced. Now, I have spoken to members in law enforcement, members within the judicial branch in government in Muncie and in Delaware County just within the last couple of hours. I've talked to folks in the know. I've talked to politicos on both the Republican and the Democratic sides in Muncie and Delaware County. I've talked to folks within the prosecutor's office, reached out to the deputy or to the chief elected prosecutor, and I've reached out to those in law enforcement. And from literally every person that I have talked to, everyone says there is no one, Republican or Democrat, that is looking to challenge Kimberly Dowling. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is unacceptable. I am telling you, folks, today is the 20th of December. We're going to get through Christmas this week. The end of this week is Christmas. Christmas is Monday of next week. Then we're going to get through the next week. Then we're going to be into January. On Wednesday, January 10th, the filing period opens. And then 29 days later, 30 days later, on noon, Friday, February 9th, 2024, the filing period will close. And I am telling you, as I am sitting here in this chair, there's a very high likelihood that we could very well see no one running against Dowling, see no one challenging King, and see a lot of other seats going unchallenged. Now, I'm going to spend every time I am on air from here until the close of that period talking about how we need, at some point in every show, talking about how someone needs to run against King. We need a Republican or two to run against him. We need a Democrat or two to sign up. We need good candidates on both sides to give people a choice, to have people get excited about getting out to vote. But ladies and gentlemen, almost bigger than King, it will be an unbelievable miscarriage of the voting process, of justice, and it will be a terrible, terrible thing if we allow Judge Dowling a chance to just waddle back on to the bench with no contested race. Judges get a 6-year period. When we elect a judge, they're on the bench for 6 years. Dowling is a far left-leaning, left, wackadoo left-leaning judge. Her approach to the criminal justice system when it comes to kids that are victims is insane. Child molesters have had free reign in her court. Domestic abusers have had free reign in her court, while serious offenders from other cases have also had free reign in her court, and victims are left to wonder what the hell is going on. But along with being the Circuit Court 2 judge, she is also the juvenile court judge. and what she's doing to the juvenile justice system that Judge Caldemeyer really worked to put in place, and it worked for many, many years. She's taking it down brick by brick by brick. I believe that, Alva. I mean, there comes a point where the children are going to do what they're going to do. It's just a weird culture we live in. But we've got a really concern. I'm concerned with this. I've been talking with people, with attorneys, with politicos since 2022 about, because I honestly thought that she was up in 2022 and she wasn't. And so when I found out, I was like, okay, we counted it up and I realized that she was up in 2024. I was like, oh shit, this is the time. And I've been talking to many attorneys. Now, I personally would love to see, I'm going to show you who I would like to see running against this judge. Show you right here. This man would be the absolute best pick in the world to run against Judge Dowling. And I am doing everything that I can to make this happen. Where is this? This is no, Nicole, it's not because Eric doesn't agree with him. It's because I don't agree with him. She has a long history of being completely wackadoo with I mean, listen, I'm talking about people who has sexually molested children. When you're giving men who has penetrated children, and I don't mean like 15, 16-year-old girls and a 22-year-old guy, a 19-year-old guy. It's like, whatever. I'm talking about child molesters and children, and allowing those people, allowing murderers, allowing men that beat women, who kill their spouses, out of jail because we're sorry for them or whatnot. It's got nothing to do with Eric Hoffman. It's my reading of her actions as a judge, which has just been completely off the chain. She has been a terror on the bench. The people of Delaware County are less safe because of Judge Dowling. This man right here should be the candidate against her. This is Joe Orrick. He is a former United States Marine. Once and always, I guess. He's a current United States Marine who's no longer in service. He is he's been a private attorney. He is currently a deputy prosecutor. He is fair. He is kind. He is just. He is tough. And he would be my choice in a minute. I absolutely, I will, as soon as I'm done with this, when I'm done with what I got to do after the show, I will send you the documentation of the gentleman who I'm referring to as far as being the murderer that she helped allow out of jail, even while knowing the prosecutor's office were building a case in another situation with murder with a gentleman. And I the name escapes me. But yeah, I promise you. I'm not just saying that. That's everything I've said here tonight is factual information. I'm not just making shit up. I promise you she's wackadoo. So I don't know that this man is running against her. Matter of fact, I am told that he's not running against her. I am putting him on blast and saying, please, Joe, run against her. So that's what I would love to see. I would love to see this man run against her. If he does not, I would love to see anyone that is an attorney in Indiana, anybody that's an attorney in Delaware County, run against her. At this point, anybody could run against her. It has been said that at least the Star Press has stated that they have heard rumblings that Hoffman could very well run against her. I do not see that happening. Eric's not going to leave the prosecutor's office at this point. He still has work to do there. I believe that he will be there for the foreseeable future. He may run for judge at one point, but it won't be this go. So this is just very serious, and I know that we're going to walk very dangerously close to this person not having a challenger. So that's the call to action. The other call to action is we've got James King that needs to be challenged on multiple sides, and we've got Jessica Piper that needs to be challenged. And we have some other people on the council that needs to be challenged as well. So we need to do that. So that's that on the political news for this evening. I do want to say this before we leave here. Tomorrow, we will be talking about Dan Ridenour. We'll be talking about the Board of Works. We'll be talking about the Dream with Dan. I'm going to tell you guys about a Todd Rokita making a statement about a decision in Colorado disenfranchising voters, while Todd Rokita himself is disenfranchising voters here at home. Todd Rokita is an absolute tool, and I don't understand what he's doing anymore. I definitely don't understand who's running his social media, and if it's him, it's just one more reason why he's insane. And if it's someone else, they need to... I cannot believe he would literally either himself or have someone who would make a post bitching about Colorado disenfranchising voters while he appeals a ruling by a judge that overturned an election law here at home that was unconstitutional and absolutely disenfranchising voters. So it's funny that he's concerned about the citizens of Colorado, but he's not concerned about the citizens here at home. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. And we will also be talking about, there's one other thing. Oh, hopefully the record request that I'll be able to get in. But tonight, before we leave, I do want to offer a major big congratulations to Admiral Eric and Just Diane. They were re-hitched. It was to be continued today. They were remarried today in an absolutely beautiful, quick, just the friends, no frills, just getting down to it ceremony at Trigger Outdoor Sports and Guns and what all the other cool things that you could need in a gun shop. Niles Thornburg, you all know Niles. He is ordained, and he conducted their ceremony. It was a beautiful ceremony. I mean, look, I'm a guy, so I don't know what else. It's not any like, it is what it is. But Eric brought up a really interesting fact that, like, these folks were married, and they are both watchers of mine, and they're watchers of civic duty. And to think that, these people, listen, maybe through the magic of political discourse and political commentary, these two star-crossed lovers realized that they just could not live in the comment section alone, but they needed to be in each other's embracing arms. And so, like was predestined, they again met outside of the comment section of their favorite political talk shows and in life to be reunified under God's eye and everyone else. So, listen, found ourselves again on the bastards. So while that's probably quite a whole lot of bullshit, and honestly, they probably would have been doing just fine if we didn't exist. I will always tell everybody else I took part in making someone. Hey, listen, I have been the matchmaker for several people, and I have actually introduced 3 couples in my life that have been married, and every one of those couples, at least 10 or 15 years, are still married. That's a pretty big deal. Like, I'm just kind of joking about this thing with Diane and Eric. They knew each other and they had history, and they were doing well on their own. But I will take credit for this one as well. But the other 3 in real life, like, there was 3 people, or actually 6 people, 3 couples that I introduced that married, and they are still married to this day. So, that's a big thing. Now, I am having a little bit of an issue, I'm on my always looking for the next ex Mrs. Bilbrey, as they say. My dad trained me well, I guess, but it is what it is. So, I don't know. My best friend had the same problem, Kristopher. But yeah, I'm very happy and very proud of Eric and Diane, and very happy and proud to call them friends. And if you want to watch the ceremony, you can do that on Josh Kimbrell's Civic Duty channel. It's up there now. And if you're interested in pew, 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 give Trigger Outdoor Sports a look. Ask for Niles or Rick, and they'll be able to take care of you there. Trigger can meet all your needs. They can help you with the pew pews, and they can also marry you. I mean, I didn't know that was a service that they provided, and neither did they until like today. So it is. It is what it is. Married to my first wife 3 years, been married to my second wife now 37 years. I will turn queer before I marry another one. It can't be half as bad as messing with these. I'm telling you. I'm absolutely telling you. It's crazy. So yeah, I am very happy for you, Eric, and very happy for Diane. Hey, John Mark. So now you'll have a new name to look up when you look up just Diane. So you might keep that in your mind there, John Mark. Mark that down in your little book there for when you're running people and checking their voters' history. So we'll see what happens. But that's the main reason I wanted to come on tonight, was to say big congratulations to Diane and Eric. And I think that's really, really cool. I'm going to have to talk about that, Doey, tomorrow. Please tune in tomorrow because we will be busy and have a lot to talk about. But I actually have to roll tonight because I've got some things I need to do. So I'm sorry to leave you all hanging. Sorry it was a short show, but I definitely wanted to pop on here to put out this call to action, and then to say congratulations to the Mr. and Mrs. And I hope they have a long, healthy, happy life together. And, everything is great there. I don't know what you two are doing here. You should be off on some kind of mad, passionate honeymoon night. So that's the other reason I'm ending early, so they can, get to it. But you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Sorry, it's a short show. I will see you back here at 9 p.m. tomorrow, where we will talk about the Colorado situation. We will talk about the Board of Works. We will talk about the Dream with Dan. We will talk about this upcoming election and so much more. Take care. God bless. Have a good evening, and we will see you next time. Good night.